Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the regular monthly meeting of the Arts and Culture Commission. Today is Thursday, March 19, 2009. Can we have a roll call, please?
Commissioner Stepanian? Absent. Commissioner Lee?
Present.
Commissioner Dovanisian?
Present.
Commissioner Solis?
Here.
Commissioner Wagner?
Present.
Commissioner Gregorian?
I'll go with the rest. Present.
Chairperson Kivanian?
Here.
The agenda for the March 19th meeting was posted on the bulletin board outside City Hall on March 13th, 2009.
Okay, next item, please.
Approval of regular commission meeting minutes from February 19th, 2009 at 2 p.m.
I move approval with a correction.
I second it.
I believe, wait a minute, I have to find the right spot. On page 3, under Arts Commission Transition to Glendale Arts, my recollection was not that they bring it to action. She stated, well,
That would be the third sentence.
third,
She suggested that the transition of the commission function be brought forward as an action item.
as an action item. I believe I indicated a discussion item that I did not expect that we would come to action, to any vote. So I just wanted to clarify that, if that's the...
To a
And
discussion.
then we can discuss it under the, later on, but that is my recollection of what I said. That's okay.
One more correction. The line right below it. It's Chinese Lunar, Lunar,
Nice.
New Year.
I'll correct that. What did I put on it?
That was another item on the agenda.
I'm surprised Commissioner Gregorian did not make that comment.
I haven't said anything yet. Wait until I talk.
Okay, any other comments? Okay, roll call, please.
Do we have a second?
Oh, there was a second.
No, Dovanisian? Okay. Commissioner Stepanian is absent. Commissioner Lee?
Yes.
Commissioner Dovanisian?
Yes.
Commissioner Solis?
Abstain.
Commissioner Wagner?
Yes.
Commissioner Gregorian?
I abstain also.
Chairperson Kivanian?
Yes. Okay, next item, please.
Oral communications?
Don't we have something under presentations?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm working a new system here, and I'm trying to
know.
watch this computer.
I know.
Introductions and presentations, there are none.
Okay.
The next item is oral communications.
Okay, I have two cards here. We have Stephen Coleman.
Good afternoon. My name is Stephen Coleman, and I'm a resident of Glendale. And today I am introducing everyone to a magazine which I was introduced to. I received a phone call. The publisher went into the Woodland Cafe restaurant and saw some of the pieces that I had hanging on the wall, and contacted me and asked me if I would like to contribute a couple of images for the article. And I finally said yes. And the publication just came out a couple of days ago, and I finally got copies of it yesterday. I guess it's at a lot of local restaurants. The name of the magazine is Boulevard Magazine, and it appears to be a fashion restaurant local area, and they did a spotlight on Glendale. So, and I'm a little embarrassed by what they wrote about me, but so be it. Extraordinaire, I don't think is a correct word, but that's the editor's choice. But they did use, the magazine, they did use the marquee from the Alex Theater. This is also off of the same shot that last spring, John Draymond, the mayor here, asked me to do Glendale as I saw Glendale. And there's 7 pieces hanging in the mayor's office. And one of the pieces is the Alex Theater. So they just used the marquee on that, and there's some shots here inside the park, the city park, inside the Americana. So I just wanted to bring this to your attention, and that's it. I thought it was kind of neat. Something hanging on the wall, someone calls, and I like the article very much. It appears they go to several, maybe 10 different restaurants. It's kind of a restaurant review of what they thought of the different restaurants in Glendale. So I think it's a very positive article on Glendale.
Great. Stefan, may I say a few things? Mr. Coleman is a very well-respected photographer in our city, and he is known with his photography of different scenes in the city of Glendale. And I invited him to come for our next meeting and do bigger presentation. He will be in the agenda next week with a slideshow of his other works.
Yes.
Well, I first of all, I wanted to say I'm pleased to meet you because I saw the photographs in his office and liked them. So here you are. I think this is great. We've gone from a sleepy little town to a hip, modern community. Who'd have thunk it? No, this is great.
I was very tickled by the title of the article. I, for one, happen to think that Glendale is unfolding. I think it's right on the cusp. I think there's a lot of exciting things, a lot of talented people here. I think there's a lot of art-centered people here. And so I was thrilled to see this, and I just wanted to share it.
Thank you for being a part of it.
Mr. Coleman, can you tell me what camera you use? I mean, is it digital, a film, or?
I use a digital. I use a Sony A100, and I have a beautiful Carl Zeiss lens, a 16 to 80 millimeter. And I do my prints as Chaclays, print them on a large Epson printer.
So how do you see? I suppose you did film also. How do you see the transition and is it improvement? Is it limited? How do you see that? Which one would you prefer?
I'm not an expert, but I will say now I think some of the cameras out there have a higher resolution than film. What I like about digital photography is it's less expensive because you're not paying for the film processing. Also, you have the ability to take your card out of your camera or wire it to your computer, and you have the ability to take a look at it, to manipulate it in as far as well, you can do a lot of things. I choose not to. I hold things just at contrast and brightness and sharpness, but that gives you, and then you can print them. So you're not reliant on going to a film lab. You're not reliant on going to Savon or CBS or somewhere like that. You can do it. So it involves you much more.
So you prefer that? You prefer digital to?
Yes, I do.
Oh,
I
okay.
do. At this point, absolutely.
Oh, great! Because the ones that are printed are really good. So I just wanted to know. I congratulate you for this.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
I had seen this magazine. I did read this article a couple of days ago.
Uh-huh.
This is a great article, except they left out one key restaurant, Conrad's.
I am not responsible.
I know. I'm just saying.
The editorial content.
That's a staple.
My contribution was simply the photograph.
Oh, very beautiful.
Believe me, without Conrad's, our friend here would be starving.
My mother thanks them every day.
Okay, thank you.
Other questions, comments?
I
Thank
just
you.
wanted to see if you would honor us to come to our MIME event, Man's Inhumanity to Man, which is going to be April 4th at the Brand Library, to see if you are going to come and maybe take some pictures.
I would love to.
So we'll extend an invitation later on. Definitely.
Okay, well, thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Coleman.
You see, we take every opportunity to use good artists here.
And I'll let you know, I watch you guys. One of the guys who watches you.
For the record, that's one.
All right, thank you.
Yes.
No, actually, they watch us at Acapulco.
Yeah, they do. That's right.
I
they
walked
do.
in and...
Are you kidding me?
No, we walked in
both-
after a meeting, and they're like, we just saw you guys on TV.
There's another plug. The second card here that I have is Dick Seeley.
The famous.
Thank you for putting me second. I thought I'd be last as usual, but whatever. The reason I'm here, and I'll try to take as little of your time as possible, is that I've been working with several young people in the community. As some of you are probably aware, I've been working with some of the young people for quite a while. But this is scholarships. And one of the gentlemen I have found at Daly High School, which, as you probably know, is a continuation school and is not supposed to produce people of any quality. They're supposed to be criminals, et cetera, public opinion, which is totally false. But I have a gentleman by the name of James Moya who, not only in my opinion, is an artiste of some quality, but in the view of his art teacher at Daly, Emily Goff, is very, very high on him. So I've been trying to get a scholarship for him because he wants to go to one of the most expensive art schools in the state of California, the Otis Art Institute in Santa Monica, which the, what am I trying to say, the cost of 1 year is around $32,000. That's a lot of money for any family, let alone a family of a Hispanic American who are probably, not probably, but are, struggling to make ends meet, et cetera, like many of us, Hispanic or otherwise. So what I'm asking for is, I don't know whether you people are into doing funding for anybody in that capacity, or do you know of anything that where I can go? I've already, I think I've gotten some money from the Glendale Community Foundation. I'm going to try to get something from the Hispanic Businessmen's Association. Whether that will come about, I don't know. There's also, I think he applied for the Tuesday Afternoon Club, which is probably not likely, but whatever. And anyway, I would like to see something done in this respect, because I'm a follower of art. I can't draw a straight line with a ruler, but I can appreciate those people who can. And this boy, well, if it's worth your while, I can come back next time you have a meeting. I have a lot of his stuff. He has a man-sized drawing, painting in watercolor he does specifically, which my understanding is watercolor is one of the most difficult ways to paint. He does a lot of different things, mostly portraiture, singular, plural, et cetera. He hasn't ventured into landscape, seascape, but he's only 17 years old, so he's been in the art thing since he was about 3, from my understanding of the whole situation. But anyway, my point is, I'm just trying to find other areas where I could perhaps get him some funding, not necessarily that he would go to Otis Art School, but he might start at PCC, take a year or two and see where he's going, because apparently he has the talent here. What we need to do is to expand it out to this degree. And as I said, I'm very much interested in art, and I would really like to see a gentleman of his capacity get funding so that he can achieve what may be great for himself, but also may be great for all of us from an art standpoint. So anyway, I leave it at that point. If anybody wants to yak about it or say anything, I'd appreciate it. And if you want me to come back with his material, I'll be happy to show you that. I'll even bring him in if you like, whatever. I mean, I understand he's probably only one student in, our 5 high schools that has art talent, but he's the only one I know of, and he seems to be doing a great job. Thank you.
Yes, Commissioner Solis.
Well, I know if you're backing him, Dick, then he must be quite an artist. I went to Daly High School. I was a bad kid.
Yeah, I know.
Bad kid. And, there have always been a lot of great artists who come out of that school, who just don't seem to get the spotlight because it is a continuation. I know it's changed. The view has changed of Daly, but when I went there, it was a bad kid school.
Right.
But we don't have any money here.
I know it's an unpopular subject.
We used to, when I first got on the commission, we used to give money to artists, actually. Like my first couple of months, and then that was taken away and put back into the general fund. What I was going to tell you is just something to throw out there to give you. The Glendale Latino Association is having a mixer this coming Wednesday at Sabor, which is located on Brand in Glen Oaks.
933.
Okay. 933, is that Glen Oaks?
933 North Brand, 5:30 to 8. 5:30
to 8.
That's just corner of Glen Oaks.
Glen Oaks, corner of Glen, and so that might be a good place to hit up businessmen. I know there's a lot of business people there, and that might be a good place to to see what you can do and maybe build up some funds there.
And
Thank you.
I would just add, their major fundraiser is to give scholarships. So I'm assuming that he has tapped into any referrals that the school district, that the counselors have.
Yeah, he's filled out this. I think there's 6 different scholarship awarders on this particular big long form that they have to fill out. He's already done that. He's also applied at Otis Art Institute, but
Okay.
you know, with the money situation, it's very doubtful that he'd be accepted. You know, so
There's and I don't have the details here, but there's also just Glendale Presbyterian Church is planning an art fair, and I think it's a first for them. And it's once I get those details, we'll make it available, and I'll try to let you know. And there just may be contacts. That's all.
okay,
That he may.
yeah.
Commissioner
In case anybody wants to send me anything, well, go ahead. I don't want to. You won't remember it. Dick.seeley@att.net. So,
Yeah, we have pens.
well, my email is Dick. Don't forget the dot, because apparently there's a few other Dick Seeleys, regrettably. Dick.Seeley, SEELEY, @att.net.
Commissioner Terhoven.
All right.
Yes, and just something that I have to say, I know that maybe it's not the place, but I do believe that Daly High School is a school of the highly gifted kids. You know, most of the artists and talented and gifted people of the world, they need different accommodations because they are beyond. You know, so to contain them in a very structured system, sometimes it doesn't work. And Daly High School is one of them. And I do believe that our district highly appreciates them. And we started with all renovations for them because they really need to have all the respect of the community because they are wonderful, wonderful kids. And if ever in my lifetime would ever choose to work as a principal, I've always said that is the only site that I would love to work with because they are fabulous people. So I hope nobody in the community even words it that way because it would hurt the feeling because it's a big misunderstanding in the world of education. Thank you.
Well, the only reason I said that was because a lot of times I tell people about continuation school, and the comment I get as well, that's where all the criminal kids are.
Yeah.
You know, well, that's totally false. Yes, there are occasionally kids there with a criminal background, but the majority of them, not that way. I'm sorry, go ahead.
City of Los Angeles, along with the County of Los Angeles, will be hosting the Asian Pacific American Heritage Month in May. There is a poster and essay writing contest, so I would say he would qualify for the poster contest. I will try to forward you that information.
Yeah, please do, because I have some of his artwork at home, and I don't know whether you consider it a poster, but some of it could be considered that. One of them is a pen and portrait of a gentleman with, you know, it's excellent in my opinion, and I'm certainly no art expert, but it's phenomenal. I couldn't even come close to even partly being there. Anyone else?
Well, I wanted to thank Commissioner Terhoven for standing up for Daly, and I also wanted to say that Dr. Escalante, our superintendent, often refers to Daly as the private little school next door to the district office because it is such a wonderful opportunity for a number of students.
And they've also been recognized as a model continuation school in
yeah.
the state of California also. So.
And I want to thank you while you're here for your ongoing participation with the students.
Well,
there.
it's
It means a
enjoyable.
lot.
You don't have to thank me. I really enjoy it. You can straighten somebody up and make them go. Because when I was in high school, I didn't even have to go to daily school. I was just such a big jerk. They threw me out completely, and that was a long time ago.
Me too.
Before we had continuation. But anyhow, okay.
You were not
thank
a
you very
jerk.
much.
You were misunderstood.
Sorry?
Here comes
But
the
not a
psych-
jerk. You were. Yeah, I'm a psychologist.
Because
You were not a
psychologist.
jerk. You were misunderstood.
Yes, that's right. Exactly. Thank you.
I mean that, and I mean that. I'm not trying to be politically
No,
correct.
it's-
I mean,
Okay. Thank you. Yeah, and if you would email me anything that you have, I would appreciate it. I'll follow up with it, and we'll go
you can
from there.
also send me some postcards or some information about this artist, the name and his mailing address, so we'll be able to invite him to our events or help him out with any way we can.
Yeah, I'll be happy to, because
do
I
that.
have a letter of recommendation I put on Glendale Community Foundation. So,
Okay.
thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Seeley. And actually, if I could add as well, Mr. Seeley, please feel free to bring him to our meetings.
Yes.
We'd love to meet any young artist, anyone in the community that deals with the arts at any level.
Okay.
So please bring him in.
All right.
We'd
Him
love to
and
meet
his
him.
work, both.
Absolutely.
That
I'll
would be
bring
great.
some of the work in too, and because I'm having a meeting with I have a teacher who teaches part-time at Otis, who I'm kind of get together with him and to see where we can go and so forth and so on. So maybe next week, if not, well, you're not going to be here next week, and you won't be here until the 16th? Of
Next month.
Next
The
month.
third Tuesday of April. The third Thursday. I'm sorry. The third Thursday of April.
Yeah. No, I'll be happy to if I bring him in. Thank you.
Thanks so much.
You're welcome.
Okay. With that, the next item, please.
Action item, approval of Bob Hope Airport banner competition winner.
I'm very pleased to have with us Dr. John Schaff, the Visual and Performing Arts Coordinator of the Glendale Unified School District, and Ms. Lucy Bergdorf, the Marketing Manager from Bob Hope Airport. Welcome.
Thank you.
And this is the second year that the Bob Hope Airport banner competition is been taking place. And it's been sponsored by the Bob Hope Airport Authority. This is where 3 district students compete with the competition, with the banner competition. And each district will choose the winners, and then the winning artwork will be produced into a giant banner, and it will be hanged at the
Burbank Airport Tower.
I keep trying to say Bob Hope.
That's
Lately,
right.
I've been going back and forth to the airport, taking my daughter. She's been traveling every 2 weeks to Sacramento, and every time I see the banner, it's such an exciting program. It's a great opportunity for artists to get engaged with art and create, as well as compete and be recognized. I welcome you, ladies.
Thank you.
Please tell us about the theme and more details, anything that you would like to share with us.
Thank you for having us here today and for your judging expertise. The Bob Hope Airport Authority had this great idea last year to involve schools, the district office, and the community in judging artwork. So that's the process that these finalists have gone through. High schools in our district were given the opportunity to have students create a piece of artwork with the theme of this year is Soaring to New Heights. And the schools had their own competition, and then they were able to submit up to 5 pieces of artwork for our district competition. So we had invited outside artists, had nothing to do with the district, and they chose these 3 finalists. Now it's your turn. You're the city aspect of the judging. It's your turn then to select the winner. And the winner will be, like Ripsame had said, enlarged to something like 15 feet by
24 feet.
24 feet. So you're talking huge. But it is just so exciting because millions of people go by in and out of that airport. And for 3 months, a Glendale student will have the artwork will be shown. So it's just, I get goosebumps every time I think about it. So it's really a great opportunity for our students.
Yes.
Will we be able to come down, or I can't see the middle one?
Yeah,
Well,
I
we
can
can
see
hold
both.
them. I'd like to just read off the criteria again.
Can I just tell you one thing? And I shared it, I think, with the commissioners, but I don't know that Lucy heard it, Ms. Bergdorf heard it, regarding our entry last year with the children playing and the plane flying over. I had the unusual experience of being in Washington, D.C. To visit our kids in the fall. And at Reagan Airport, we went, and there's a park just north of Reagan Airport. And the kids and I and some of our 2 children who live there and some of their friends went and were playing catch out on the on the grass, and a plane came in, and for a minute I looked up and I thought, oh my gosh, I am in the picture. It was just a marvelous moment. But
That's cool.
I was so proud, and I was just at the airport Monday and saw this entry.
Well, the winner from Glendale last year, that same student also won Adam Schiff's 29th Congressional Award. And so another piece of artwork by that same student now hangs in Washington, D.C. So you made a good choice last year. Okay, the criteria that the airport authority have set up, again, the theme is soaring to new heights, artistic merit, creativity, legibility in the display venue, and adherence to the theme. So
Say
again,
those again,
Well, yeah.
or are they in here?
okay, well, I had sent the criteria to
Yes.
the commission earlier, so it's artistic merit, creativity, legibility in the display venue. So this is something, we're not talking on the wall, we're talking
Right.
a piece of artwork that is going to be enlarged tremendously. And then adherence to the theme. And not one or another is of any higher value, it's your choice. And the theme is soaring to new heights. So I will bring it closer to you.
Should I to come in?
I'm not sure. Do you want it to come in, or do you want it at the?
This is
We
okay.
don't have security, but no, I'm just kidding. I only joke. Yeah. Does anybody want to take a closer look? Anyone?
I mean, we can walk in if you would like.
We could also come to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We can-
Just remember that the piece will hang on the airport's main tower. And again, it'll be enlarged 15 feet wide by 20.
That's why my thing a little bit farther
That's-
away,
yeah.
other than you up
Yeah.
close,
So-
because no one is going to see it up close. But you do have to choose all we can have.
I can't remember. I know my vote, but
Okay.
I don't know how. If you want to think more, or if I'll let.
Do the
you decide.
commissioners want to have a discussion?
So hard.
I hope these people aren't watching. They get knocked over.
Well, I think it's fair to start by saying they're all wonderful, and they've come through a process, and
Okay, so why don't we open discussion?
Yeah, we can talk
But
about it.
change position
All right.
so that they get it due. So this is now which one is.
oops.
Could we talk about it, or we don't?
Sure, of course we can.
Because this one is very philosophical and has so many details. It's beautiful. It has a lot of political ideas and philosophical ideas and everything else. Yet the middle one always reminds me somehow of the childhood, that the way kids, they think if they do this with their hands and fly with their hands and go to the sky, you almost feel the elevation of the child. As far as artwork, it is very childlike, and it's a child. But as far as imagination, it just makes you feel almost elevated from the floor. You don't feel you're touching. So it's amazing that they're different. And the other one is more of having the plane and helping somebody fly. But I'm stuck between the two of them. It's very hard to decide. If I go with my heart and feeling, I would go with the middle one. If I go with the philosophical concepts of including everything and being very inclusive of many things, could be that. But yet that one, I cannot keep my eyes away from it.
Yeah. Oh wow. Well, hands all over. Yes.
Number each one, so we will.
Well, when we vote, we can do that.
We can come to that.
Yeah, later on we'll
Yes, Commissioner Wagner.
just generally.
I often think of how I feel going into the airport and how the picture makes me feel. But for me, the middle one captures that wonderful imaginative quality, and I'm not trying to look at the details from the parking lot, thinking what does that mean, and thinking about the inside. I love this other painting. But it's also very similar to the one last year. So I think the center one speaks to me, and
kids do that because
Oh.
this for them it means like having wings and going up. To me, it's like, oh, it's just,
yes. Oh, I think.
Commissioner Gregorian?
Well, I have to concur with everything that was said so far and add a little more. Actually, all three of them are excellent work. And I don't know, what's the age of the students who produced this?
These are high school students.
High school students.
One is a sophomore, and I believe the other two are seniors. But I just want to say, this is an indication of, it's a very good representation of artwork that is done in our district.
Yeah.
I mean, we have high-quality teachers, students.
I concur with that.
Before I get...
Prejudice, but I really believe so. I mean, these are just 3 out of many that we had at the district level competition, and many of the others could have been here as well.
You know, before we get into that, I concur with you also, and and I would really hope that all your creative students and teachers will come to our exhibition in April. So we will discuss that later on. So if you could please stay on and be with us, that would be great. Going back to this artwork, I somewhat believe that the middle one is the most simple and the most imaginative, probably. It just kind of allows you to think and imagine a lot more. The furthest left is a lot creative and has all kinds of encompassing and inclusive ideas and issues which I like in a place like Glendale and Burbank. The one on the right is also nice, but it's too similar to what we had last year, and I personally would prefer to have a change from it. So if I am the one, again, like Commissioner Derawanesian, my preference would be the middle one and the one to our left, and the one with the kids flying the airplane. Although it's also very nice, but that would be my third choice for now.
Okay. Commissioner Solis?
And they're all very nice, as we've all said many times. I think sometimes we lose fact that we're the Arts and Culture Commission. And I think the one that encompasses culture and art is the one on our far left. If you can tell, it has all the different country flags, different flags of different countries, and it's going to be at an airport. A lot of different people come from different countries, and that would be very good representation of Burbank and Glendale being open and receptive to all ethnicities and all nationalities. And it has different monuments, and it's very colorful. I think it's eye-catching. I think something like this, if you're walking on the street, it catches your eye. Like, look at that. Well, these are very nice, but I think that they're both similar to what we have last year: blue skies and clouds. Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm very on. Okay, blue clouds. How many blue clouds and skies can we possibly have? Blue skies and clouds. The bottom line is, I think this one is the most eye-catching. It encompasses culture. It's very colorful. It's very beautiful, and that would be my choice right now. The far one on the left.
Commissioner Lee, I guess the two of us are left. So,
well, the one that gives me the most follows the theme would be the one in the middle. Now, the one on the left definitely gets artistic merit, creativity, and the display, but is a little bit missing of the theme, because I don't really see that as soaring to new heights. But I mean, artwork-wise, I mean that is exactly correct, like Commissioner Solis said. It is eye-catching. It pops right out at you, but missing one out of the 4, whereas the one in the middle actually catches all 4. And then the one on the right, like everybody did say, it's very, very similar to the one from last year. So I would pick the center one and then the one on the left, and then the plane on the right would be the last.
Could I say something about the culture before our chair adds his point of view?
Certainly. Let's not drag this on too much.
It is interesting that we talk about cultures, but cultures with icons come as one thing. But I believe, people all over the world, for the kids, for flying, they do this. To me, that is a universal language of flying, because when you do this, that means you are flying for any language, any culture, any part of the world. And assuming it gives you the elevation and the power of the wings. So that's why soaring, yes, all the details you're right. But that one, with the theme of soaring, it's like, it's there.
I also have to agree with the majority of my colleagues. Sorry, Amador.
Jesus was a nonconformist.
We're not the arts, culture, and religion commission. That's out of our purview. So,
but we haven't said which one we prefer. How can you agree with all of us?
Well, it seems like you all have said the middle one is.
No, we said middle and the left.
Well, I thought you said middle first.
He's
then.
clouding his words. I have to say that just on artistic merit, I have to say the one on the left is an extremely beautiful work of art. Really, really is. But the middle has something that is beyond anything that you could really calculate in any cultural aspect, because we all have hands, and we are all. It shows.
Not all of us have hands, actually. There's some people out there without hands.
Well, I mean, figuratively is what I'm trying to say. I mean,
we've all had hands.
Well, anyway, I'm not going to even go there. We all have imaginations too, but it's. I think the one in the middle for me does not only the theme justice, but I think has unifying qualities of culture. Even like Commissioner Terhovanesan said, I mean the hand signaling of a bird flying or soaring, I think is beautiful. I mean, when I look at it, I honestly pictured like a Mozart piano concerto in my head. I don't know why, but I'm a musician, what can I say? But I think
doesn't the left picture have a piano in there?
No.
No, it doesn't. No musical instrument. Oh.
May I make one more comment?
Certainly.
I think, on the detail, the legibility in display venue, I worry a little bit more on the one on the left. Just there are so many details that you go to the details and wonder, what does that mean? And the middle one, is just so simple and so freeing. So that's all.
Commissioner Terhovanesan?
Well,
I am
Gregorian. I'm sorry.
I was just renamed.
I apologize.
Okay.
I'm still recovering from Commissioner Solis's rant.
Okay.
And,
say,
all right.
Your speech is going to come after you.
Okay. Thank you for renaming me. But the middle one. I think the strength and the power of the middle one is in its simplicity, and the fact that it just speaks to every one of us as we were kids, we were dreaming high, we were looking up in the sky and watching airplanes fly and birds fly, and then thinking, how do they do it? And I think it just kind of comes across very close to the heart. But as an artwork, as a piece of art, I personally prefer the other one because it's a lot more complex and it's a lot more inclusive of all kinds of issues. And I don't really think that we should be worried about the details. Nobody really watches every detail of everything every artwork that they see around. But yes, the left one is a lot more complex, a lot more complicated, and a lot more inclusive. And I like the fact that, you see these Russian babushkas, you see the Eiffel Tower, you see the, the Chinese or some kind of an Oriental alphabet in there, then the flags, the butterflies. I think all of that all together, since it's coming out of the head of that lady, again, that also shows her dream of, traveling the world and, getting into all kinds of, adventures. So, again, it's really a tough choice. But I never said my first choice was the middle one. I love the middle one. But I think they both have merits, and it really depends on what we want to do. And I really somewhat disagree with my colleague Mr. Lee saying that it doesn't really have the main theme of soaring to new heights, because actually what I see in there is all of this reaching new heights, going to old places, getting into all these different places and cultures. That's what the aim of the lady is. That's what is in her head. And I think that is a lot more saying and more kind of deeper than a little kid aiming high, which is wonderful. I mean, I'm sure when I was a kid, I probably did that at least 10 times a week or so. Yeah.
Shall we vote?
Can't we have two?
Okay, so I think everybody has had their chance to say what's on their mind. So let's go right ahead and take.
So how are we going to vote for this? We'll name the one on the left 1, 2, and then 3. So from
Right somewhere?
So
from our left to right, it's 1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3.
right.
Of
So
course, we will also recognize ID. I don't think
She already said it. She's like,
we will recognize second and third.
oh great.
Oh,
By which we
okay.
That was a wonderful opportunity
Oh, okay.
for all of our students last year, because in one of the terminals, all of the artwork that had gotten to the stage were all displayed. It's just the winner had the artwork enlarged to be on the
So probably the best way would be if we say, A, B, C, or 1, 2, 3, and they say, and then we say, A is my first choice, B is my second choice, and things like that. Maybe like that, whichever
you
gets the
guys
highest
say
vote.
who was second and third, or no?
Let's-
No, it doesn't matter.
No.
So let's label them.
Yeah,
Let's
No.
label them A, B,
Oh.
A, B, C, and then we will each come down the line and say,
Like, for example, I could say BAC, meaning BAC.
Yeah, first choice is B, second choice is, okay.
Okay, so we're setting
So
on
do we
letters.
know which one is which? A, B, C?
A,
Yes.
A, B, and C. Okay.
Okay.
They taught me that at Daily, ABCs.
Yes, I am. Do we start from this?
Yes. Actually, let's start from Mr. Espinoza. Why don't you read off the roll sheet and see if that's easier to do it that way?
Commissioner Lee?
I would say B, A, C.
Dr. Hernandez?
BAC.
wait a
minute,
second.
So B is your first choice?
BAC, yes.
Okay.
And that was the same as his, right?
Commissioner Solis?
I'd have to say A, B, C.
Commissioner Wagner?
B, C, A.
Commissioner Gregorian?
A, B, and C.
Chairperson Kibanyu?
I'm going to say B, A, and then C.
So everybody.
Okay.
Well, it
that's
sounds
everyone.
B is the winner, and A, and
is-
then C.
Let's have the official tally.
Well, it's
I'm just kidding. But
so B is winner.
Is the winner.
A is A is second, or runner up, and C is third place.
great.
This is just one of the most fun things we do, I
B-
think. And hardest.
B is the Crescenta Valley High School. Second place is a Glendale High School. Third is a,
Do we have their names? Can we recognize them?
yes, the winner is Nicole Bose, B-O-S.
Oh, I know her mom.
Shenanigans.
That was Glendale High School?
No, that's Crescenta Valley High School.
Okay, Crescenta.
And then Glendale High School is Evelina.
And when, that's that one.
Okay.
Okay.
It's
A.
Evelina, E-V-E-L-I-N-A. It's Kazarian, K-A-Z-R-Y-A-N. And I just want to let you know that that's his
Yes.
10th grade.
Wow.
And she's an
Can you
artist.
guys move closer this way to the podium? Oh, very good. I'll do it.
And then,
Excuse me for 1 second. We did not pick any of that up because you're not by the microphone. So if we could start over with the names and
So the last 40 minutes.
no, just show us the name and just do it real fast. The first two.
okay, the winner is Nicole Vose, V-O-S-E, from Crescenta Valley High School,
12th grade?
12th grade, I believe. Evelina Kazarian was number 2, and she is a 10th grader from Glendale High School. And our third is Stacy Carios from Crescenta Valley High School, and I have been made known that this girl is a senior.
Is that K-A?
No, it's C-A-R-I-O-S.
Cardios. Great.
Thank you
Fantastic.
very much for this
Thank
hard
you.
decision.
Yeah.
We thought it's going to be easier this year. We send out everything prior to the meeting, but
Yeah.
wonderful.
Well, please congratulate them on
I
our
will.
behalf, and they have done an excellent job, and we are hoping to see them in future as professional artists.
I'm sure we will have some more viewing of this beautiful artwork. Thank you
Great.
very much.
Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much.
If I can just make one final comment, I'd like to thank you for taking the time to judge the art pieces, and I will be presenting the school board, I believe in May, a check for $2,500 from the Burbank-Glendale Pasadena Airport Authority, with the understanding that this money is to be used to enhance the arts program in the Glendale Unified School District. So we're very proud of that, and we appreciate your time and effort. Thank you.
Great. Thank you.
so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I don't know anyone on the school board.
Next item, please.
Approval of the selection panel recommendations, Diamond Awards for Achievement in the Arts.
Move approval of the recommendations?
I second that.
Okay, we have a discussion. Everybody's okay?
How long did this take?
I'm delighted. At least with the ones I know.
Yes, Commissioner Solis.
How long did these take to the selection? Like, was it 10 minutes, 20
No,
down?
actually, are you asking me?
Yeah, we were there. Right?
Yes. Actually, this whole thing started months ago and went a long time. But the panels who were there were 2 evenings. And each discussion, the first one I think took approximately a couple of hours. The second one I think about an hour and a half, because there were 2 panels. And I think they did an excellent job. They considered everything very carefully, and they were. You probably know the names of the panels are here. I would like to thank them and recognize them also for all their hard work. They did an excellent job, and the first panel was comprised of Vince Takas, our good friend here and a great artist, John Aden, Anahit Keshishian, Nobuyo Okuda, and Ara Oshagan. All of them are well-known artists in the community and beyond, and they really did an excellent job. And the deliberations took approximately about 2 hours. And also, Ripsima and Richard were kind enough to provide us and them with sandwiches and refreshments and all that, so they were enjoying their day in there.
Sure they were.
The second panel was comprised of, again, our good old friend Zen Lopez, a very well-known artist in town, a poet, Tina Dimitrian, and also Celia Defato, another very good artist that we know in town. So it was I was there just observing and, maybe answering some of their questions and all that. But I think they came up with a really good selection, and this is their selection. Not that necessarily I agreed with everything, but I didn't have a vote, and I didn't want to vote, and we just went through the process, and whatever they chose, and I think their selection is really an excellent selection. So,
Mr. Marushan?
Yeah, and I like to thank Richard Espinoza. He has many years of experience in serving as a judge and also doing moderating, has an experience in moderating judging panels. And he was able to assist the judges by providing them all the supplemental materials, the DVDs, CDs, everything that we received from the nominees. And he did a great job. Thank you.
You're very welcome.
When does Richard get a Diamond Award?
An honorary.
Long overdue.
Honorary.
When the ship sinks, we'll get you something. All right, pretty soon.
Lifetime achievement, that's what
I
I'm
know.
talking.
Don't worry, it's coming up.
What are we going to give you if we give Richard the Lifetime Achievement Award?
I'm just.
Does that answer your question, Commissioner Solis? Okay, any other comments, discussions?
Well, I would just say that there are many organizations, and it's wonderful that we already have people on the list for coming years. So we're lucky. Glendale is on the cusp of continuing wonderful things. So.
Of course, dude. I'm an its future.
Anyway, disregarding that comment,
We have a
Ready?
motion.
let's take a vote,
Have a
please.
motion
We
and
have
a
a
second
motion.
to start the discussion.
Sorry?
Yes.
Yes, let's go for a roll call.
No, is the discussion finished? There was just a
Yes,
question.
I thought it was. I asked twice.
Okay. That's fine.
If you want to.
Razmik wanted
No, I don't want to
debate.
discuss anything. No, I just thought.
Okay.
No.
So let's take a vote, please.
Commissioner Stepanian is absent. Commissioner Lee?
Yes.
Commissioner Dovanesian?
Yes.
Commissioner Solis?
Yes.
Commissioner Wagner?
Yes.
Commissioner Gregorian?
Yes.
Chairperson Kivanian?
Yes.
Great. So now that we have your approval, how would you like to do it? Would you like to announce? We are going to announce the names today for the first time.
I don't think we are we?
We are.
Is that how it is?
We have very limited time to get ready to take care of some details about organizing the recognition event. So it should be announced today.
Mr. Espinoza, do you have a...
From what I remember from last year's, although this is a public
That's
record, but I thought we were not going to announce it that publicly yet.
We-
Time is different, I think.
Yes, we stated at the last meeting that we will be announced.
Go ahead, Mr.
Okay,
Chair.
Mr. Kavanian.
Let me
Okay.
flip to that page.
I hope you're watching.
Like the... okay.
It is secret anymore.
So for the category of artist, the winner is Samvel Hambarsumyan. In the category of lifetime achievement, the winner is Craig Kupka, who
teachers.
is well known around town. In the category of organizations and community partners, the winner is Stepping Stone Players, to the great joy of Miss Wagner, who is an adamant supporter. In the category of community partners, business and community partners individual, the winner is Ruth Sobey. That concludes the winners. Okay. Next time.
Thank you to all.
Thank you.
I'm so excited.
Next item.
What about community partner business?
They were combined this year.
Oh, okay.
Approval of recognition date and the venue for the Diamond Awards for Achievement in the Arts.
Now that we have the winners, we need a date and a venue approved by the commission again in order for us to take care of the details of organizing the recognition event for the Diamond Awards for Achievement in the Arts. As I stated at my last report, the recognition ceremony will not be held at the Americana due to the size of the community room. It doesn't hold big enough crowd. And I was able to go and secure another venue. And I'm very pleased to announce today that a new hotel in the city of Glendale, the Embassy Suites Hotels, which is a Holiday Inn family hotel, they generously agreed to waive some of the fees, especially the rent and the catering. It's a beautiful venue for this event, very proper for the Diamond Awards.
It's next to Conrad's.
I was
After the
waiting.
ceremony, you can go and eat in there.
I'll be there.
I was waiting for that. But continue, Ms. Marashan.
I suppose you should have a lifetime Conrad free meals.
Well,
And we are, of course, along with we will recognize these 4 winners at that beautiful place. We were able to reserve the date, which is May 14th. It's a Thursday, May 14th, at the Embassy Suites Hotel.
At the time? What
It'll
time?
be from 6 to 8. In order for us to be start ordering the trophies, send out the invitations, do the publicity, and many other details that has to be taken care of, we would really like to have this item approved by you.
I move approval.
Second.
There it is. Any discussion? Okay. We'll have a roll call, please.
Commissioner Stepanian is absent. Commissioner Lee?
Yes.
Commissioner Vanessian?
Yes.
Commissioner Solis?
yes.
Commissioner Wagner?
Yes.
Commissioner Gregorian?
Yes.
Chairperson Kivanian?
Yes. I'm already going to say that Commissioner Solis is going to sing that night, so all of you should be there.
We're at Conrad's?
Conrad. I sing at Conrad's every day.
Actually, this year we're not going to have a silent action or fundraising. Your active participation will really greatly appreciate it. You could get involved with programming and inviting performers. We are trying to have the nominees also to incorporate them to the event, but I will get in touch with you and see how you can be part of organizing the Diamond Award.
Certainly.
Will you need help with setup, or do they do that at the
They
hotel?
will do everything.
Okay.
For us, it's just about programming the event, ordering publicity, press releases.
And we'll have a meeting before that.
Right.
Well,
Yes, we have one more meeting.
Okay.
Okay. Next item, please.
Approval of educational workshops for artists and art organizations and sponsorship of Arts Tune-Up in fall of 2009.
We have already talked about the importance of starting educational programs for artists and arts organizations in our city. Potential topics could be public art policies, grant writing, portfolio, art of marketing, publicity. As a start, we would like to invite the Arts Tune-Up organizers to come and hold similar event here in the city of Glendale. 2 weeks ago, I was able to go and be part of their workshop. They were holding one in West Hollywood, and I was able to talk to the organizers. Fortunately, they have one more. This is a traveling workshop program, very effective, and I'm sure in the past, City of Glendale worked with them, and we thought as a start, it will be great for us to invite them, and in the fall, this coming September or October, they have a space where they can book us as their next hosting city. It was very effective. I was there and I was able to take some of their workshop, talk to their presenters. Fundraising was one of the subjects they were talking about, helping small, low-budget art organizations about how to get grants. A lot of important things that we feel is a good start for our workshops as well.
Maybe you said this and I missed it. Do you anticipate a weekend workshop or an evening?
No, it's
Is
a
it-
one-day, few-hour workshop. They
On a Saturday or on a weekday?
on a Saturday.
Usually they're done on Saturdays
That's what I
in the morning,
That's
like
what I
around
thought.
10 a.m.
Okay.
It's for 3-hour workshop, and they take care of everything. This Arts Tune-Up workshop is sponsored by the Los Angeles County Art Commissioners.
Is there a cost to?
There is no cost to us. They do the promotion, they invite people, and we will only be responsible for light refreshment.
And do we have a location?
We're
Or-
thinking about Pacific Community Center will be the best venue for it.
I move approval of whatever we're asked to do. Educational programs, and specifically this first one for the
And I
fall.
second it.
Do you have dates for this?
Well, we have to check with them. They said they do it quarterly again, and they have already booked 3 events. I have to go back. I need it to be
Authorized.
authorized to call them and find out. They told me September or October.
I second that.
Okay. Great. We have a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Stepanian is absent. Commissioner Lee?
Yes.
Commissioner Vanessian?
Yes.
Commissioner Solis?
Yes.
Commissioner Wagner?
Yes.
Commissioner Gregorian?
Yes.
Chairperson Kivanyi?
Yes. Next item, please.
Excuse me 1 second here. Man's Inhumanity to Man Art Exhibition update.
Well, I will be very brief because our commissioners are, some of the commissioners are also subcommittee members, and I'm sure they have a lot to share with you all. This will be our final report, update report before the opening night of the Men's Inhumanity to Man exhibition. There have been more than 70 artworks included into this exhibition. Very excited and very hardworking subcommittee members. I have to thank every one of them, especially the curator, Dr. Ramela Abamontian. She's done an amazing job. We're very close. We have only 2.5 more weeks before the opening of the show, and the press releases went out already. Now we have to really focus on our publication, send out the postcards, and get ready for the show. Showtime is here.
And I'm going to turn it over to Commissioner Gregorian, who is the I guess he's kind of the chair of the subcommittee. Right ahead.
What does a kind of a chair mean?
It doesn't matter.
He knows how to approach the situation well, I think, as an artist.
That's right. I'm trying to be neutral.
Okay. All right. As Rivsime just reported, this very hard-working committee, comprising of 3 commissioners and 3 community members, artists, and incredibly hardworking and good city support staff, which is our own Rivsime Marashian, Alisa Resnick of Glendale Galleries, and also on some other degree, Rich Wells and all the rest of the city staff have been working hand in hand very hard to get this thing together, and I cannot wait for the opening day. We have done an incredibly good job. The catalog is ready. We have invited several scholars and professors and highly qualified individuals to participate in this whole program. I'll give you the program in a bit. And it's just there were, I think, approximately 80 or more artists who applied. There were almost 450 works of art that was submitted. And our curator, Dr. Abamontian, actually went through every one of them, analyzed every one of them, and selected an amazing number of good work, about 80 of them, and then she brought it to the subcommittee. We checked and we just agreed with her. We discussed several things. She was very open. She heard our comments. And anyway, the issue is that almost 80 works of art are absolutely great pieces of artwork, and it's not only from local artists, but it is from artists from all over Southern California, and artists with a great following in their own fields, in their own communities, and I'm just looking forward to it. I'm so excited. The catalog also, one of the subcommittee members, a great artist, an internationally known artist by the name of Calouste Goudel. He actually designed the catalog and the banner and the postcard. I'm sure when you see it, you will be extremely impressed by the quality of it. So everything went to print yesterday. And on Tuesday. Everything, it is ready. Now we are working on the program of the event. We already have finalized most of it. There might be some little polishing here and there, but this is how it's going to happen. We have on April 3rd at 3 p.m. This program, by the way, will be given to all the commissioners, and of course I expect every one of you to be there with all your followers and family and friends and colleagues and everybody. So 3 p.m. April 3rd is the press preview. So it's obvious what it is. They will come and tape and interview, etc., etc. The main opening day is going to be April 4th. From 5 to 8 p.m. Actually, I think it's from 4 to 8 p.m. But, it's, anyway, between 4 or 5 up to about 6 o'clock will be just the opening, walkthrough, greeting and all that. We will have some refreshments for that day. Then around 6 o'clock will be the welcome and introductions. The subcommittee is thinking and has already started inviting some dignitaries, some well-known artists also, and dignitaries in there. We are hoping very much that, let's say from Supervisor Antonovich's office, or either himself or his representative, we have already contacted Paul Krikorian's office from the State Assembly, and they are very happy to be there. And if Mr. Krikorian can, he will be there himself. We are going to contact Mr. Schiff's office, and etc., etc. So the dignitaries will be there. And we are thinking of inviting, some even diplomats, maybe from the Armenian embassy, Armenian consulate, the Israeli consulate, and all kinds of other people who have some kind of a stake in this whole theme of this exhibition. So that will be the introduction, and we will have a nice music by High Am group, which is a very nice quartet group. They will have a music performance for that thing in there. For the opening day. Then, on April 15th, we have organized an evening of poetry and music. We have 4 poets as of now who would be reading their poems and, probably discuss. I'm not quite sure how exactly that will go, but we have 4 poets and also some musical accompaniment with the poetry in the program. So April 15th, please mark your calendars. April 15th from 7 to 9 p.m. again at the Brand Gallery and probably at the recital hall will be this evening of poetry and music. Then on April 18th we have a day of art and thought. That's what we thought. That's the day is called, a day of art and thought. The program will start at 11. Which will include an interactive gallery walkthrough with the curator. So the curator will be there, will probably concentrate on several artworks and will describe, and it will be an interactive walkthrough. So the public who will be there will love to hear the artwork, the philosophy behind them, etc., etc. Then we will have a panel discussion. And from the members of the panel who have, as of now, confirmed that they will be there, is Professor Paul von Bloom of UCLA. It is, I believe it's a Professor Angelo Allen of Pierce College, and also Professor Levon Marashlian of our own Glendale Community College. And all of this will be I'm finding the word, will be deliberated by the curator, Ramela Abamontian.
Did you say the time for that discussion?
The panel discussion, I believe, is from 12 to 1. And then it will be a lunch break for an hour. After that, there will be another interactive gallery walkthrough. Then at 3 o'clock will be a question and answer with the artists. Some of the artists, and I think 6 of them have already confirmed that they will be there, will be a part of a panel where the public, the audience, will ask questions about their work, about their philosophy, etc. And there will be a question and answer session. And from 4 to 5 p.m., we have another excellent music performer and an educator, Mr. Vache Mankarian of USC. Who will not only discuss the aftermath and effects of genocide and Holocaust and these kind of atrocities on art of the victims and the victim communities. He will also perform some piano pieces, and then he will probably concentrate a little more on his specialty, which is the father of Armenian music, Komitas Vartapet, which he will analyze some of his work and analyze how the genocide affected him, not only personally, and it's quite well known that he actually totally lost it and got into, he kind of lost his mind and after all the atrocities that he saw. And then he was confined in a French sanitarium for the rest of his life. So he will discuss that and how the genocide affected Komitas Vartapet's music. But overall, his theme would be the effect of genocide on arts. And, as my colleagues see, we have 4 major educational institutions in Southern California participating in this great discussion, from UCLA, from USC, from Pierce College, and from Glendale Community College. And that would basically be the whole program that we are planning. So mark your calendars. Again, April 4th, the opening day, April 15th, evening of poetry and music, and April 18th, a day of art and thought. Just to add a little more on this, actually the main event is called Man's Inhumanity to Man. And but the subcommittee and the curator thought that it would be nice to have a kind of a subtitle on that. After a long deliberation and considering all kinds of alternatives, the subcommittee came up with the following subtitle: Journey Out of Darkness, with ... And it is obvious, we are hoping that we will get genocide and all those kinds of atrocities are, the dark chapters of human history. We are hoping to get out of it. So the exhibition will have 3 themes. It will be, the first theme will be the faces of inhumanity, which will show how the inhumanity does occur. The second one will be the scars of inhumanity, which is more or less the after effects of the atrocity. And the third theme is humanity's triumph. So the organizers and the subcommittee really hope that with this kind of events, we hope to bring the community together to try to understand each other, try to see where some of the scars and effects of people who have been victims of atrocities have occurred, and we are hoping that out of that a positive will come out. And that's where humanity's triumph theme is at the end. And in conclusion, I will read the conclusion of the essay that was written by our curator, and I think it really encompasses the whole idea and the whole aim of what the subcommittee has done. And this is what it is. It says, this exhibition, Man's Inhumanity to Man, Journey Out of Darkness, presents 3 significant aspects of the passage through history's various forms of atrocity, their aftermath, and then to hope, survival, and forgiveness. It is the aim of this exhibition and its organizers that the history of man's inhumanity to man is indeed one of out of darkness and into triumph, into a realm where humans can live alongside one another with respect and dignity, recognizing their deep-rooted connection to and need from one another, and need for one another. In this way, we may be able to write a new history of man, one permeated with instances of unity, peace, harmony, and expression of love and mutual respect. That, a story of humanity, is the legacy we hope to leave our children. That concludes my report. I'm open to questions. Thank you.
I would like to add a little bit to that. We are going to spread the good news and work with different educational organizations to participate and collaborate with us. We are going to include GUSD, so I've prepared a mini packet. Later on, we are going to develop it some more. I've talked to the social science department, and later on, I'm going to talk to Dr. Shop to see both aspects, historical and artistic, from its values. We need to have our teachers, if they're interested, we can prepare a packet, and we can even, our curator is willing to, because she's a university professor herself, she's going to help to create even lesson plans needed to expand the idea for the teachers. And since we have already on the CD all the beautiful images that our artists have created, so it could be shared, it could be taught, because she gave a little glimpse of it today. I shared with Ms. Nancy Witt in our department, that in our district, that she even could have the visuals and then say how this could connect, and it could be expanded into the different realms of discussing this major topic in the world. And I believe later on all the professors of the universities who are going to work with us and are on the panel and their guests, they are going to take this to their higher education institutions, and they are going to use that. If not a whole curriculum, it could be a lesson that they could use, and they could enlighten students who have not been able to come to this event. So we try to expand as far as large as we can, and it's a wonderful, wonderful event. And really, truly, our curator is a pleasure to work with, because it's not easy. As you see here, we always get into things, and to have Asmik and myself on the panel, on the committee, yet everything going so smoothly and having everything in place, it's a masterpiece. And at any given moment, she has two little kids, she drops the hat and she runs and gets everything ready for the even last minute when we call her. So our hats we need to raise to her, and to all the young people who work to make this happen. Our artists were phenomenal, the work and all the conversations that we have had. It was a learning session for all of us. So I hope whoever is watching us and whoever is going to listen, and later on we'll have invitations extended to the district and the city dignitaries, and definitely to our superintendent, is that come to this event and see what we have put together. That means the artists. We were just there to help them ease the way. And it's going to be it's a real unity fest, I believe. It is something that it is respecting all the other cultures, all the other perspectives. It's so inclusive and it's so big, and I hope you'll enjoy watching that middle picture of soaring high. It's just, no matter what man goes through in the history, we see nonetheless we have that capacity to soar high to the highest levels, regardless of all the pains and anguishes. And many of us are witnesses of such events. So come and enjoy that wonderful event, and bring your youngsters, especially high school and university level, definitely, and younger they could too, so we could discuss different issues. And our curator would also. The interactive part of it is phenomenal, because it's a learning experience, not just walking through, like going through the mall and seeing beautiful objects. It is becoming part of it. So, and I think at the bottom somewhere says, come join us and be a part of it.
That's at the press release, yes.
And it truly is. When I was reading it, I thought how wonderfully put. So hopefully we'll see everybody there, and make sure that it's an occasion not to miss. But those who cannot come on those days, the exhibition hall is going to be open the whole time, so people can go and enjoy the visuals. But don't miss our curator's explanation and our artists' discussions and panel discussions that we are going to have on those topics, because that is more in-depth. People who are in the field of education, those who are professionals, I think they would really enjoy those special days to be part of it.
And if I may, just one more, please. In my excitement, I probably omitted one important issue. Commissioner Derovanesian and Commissioner Kevanian are going to work with both educational institutions in our city, with the Glendale Unified School District and with private schools, to invite them, to inform them, and hope that they will bring their students in there, and especially their teachers and art teachers in there. And of course, we know that everybody is in economic downturn, and money is tight, but we are trying and hoping that we will try to do our best to get as many people in there as possible, especially the school children and youngsters and the art teachers and the artists, because this is really something that they can learn. They can see quality art, and hopefully, they will start understanding each other, which is, I think, the most important thing in any human relations and human connections to each other. So. With that, again, I invite everybody, all our community members, and I'm sure many other people from outside Glendale will attend. I am inviting everybody to remember the exhibition is going to run from April 4th to May 8th. 5 weeks at the Brand Gallery and Library. Every day it's going to be open, but the main days are April 4th, which is the opening day, April 15th, which is the evening of poetry and music, and April 18th, which is the day of art and thought. So everybody is invited, and I'm sure I will see all my colleagues on this dais and all our city officials there, including the school officials. And we are definitely going to extend our invitations to the school board and the school superintendent, and hopefully to the Glendale Community College trustees also. So we have aimed high, and hopefully we will be soaring high.
That's right. I'll add my 2 cents as well, since I am on the commission, on the subcommittee as well. I do. First of all, I really have to thank both Commissioner Serhovanesyan and for Commissioner Gregorian. I didn't mix up the names this time. Not that it would have mattered.
Which one did you mean?
I would have mentioned both of you. That they raised $10,000 in this climate and this economy, which really, really, really takes applauding. Because it's not an easy thing to raise that kind of money in such short of a time span, and really without that money we would not have been able to do most of this. The curator, forget about it. The catalog, the publishing expenses, all these kind of things, they all got covered basically. So really, to the two of you, thank you very much. This community really is indebted in the sense that they should go to this to see the exhibition, to see where all that money that we did raise, where did it go? And just a little hint about the 15th, because I am kind of in charge of planning out the music for that. I did, in talking to several of my professors, they suggested that I somehow try to incorporate a piece by Messiaen, who's a French composer. He actually was captured during World War II, and in his backpack all he had, like any good musician, was a bunch of scores. And the German soldier who took him into captivity knew him, because he was a well-known composer by then, and let him keep the scores. and he actually, now I won't remember.
I thought he thought it was some kind of a code or something, secret code.
No. He
not the piano.
Recognized? No, it's not the pianist. No. And actually, what happened was when he was in a concentration camp, and what happened was that during his time there, he met a clarinetist, a violinist, and a cellist who only had 3 strings on his cello, and he wrote a quartet called the Quartet for the End of Time because they didn't think they were going to get out. And now this is a direct. I'm very glad I came across this piece, and I'm very glad that my professors are so handy with all this knowledge that this would be a perfect piece. So I'm going to try my hardest to get that piece performed that night. Maybe not in entirety, but it's something like an hour and 40 minutes, the entire piece. So maybe several movements of that would suffice. Yeah, and of course it's going to be at the beginning of that evening of poetry. We're going to have music and then poetry readings with a break in between, and then some more music. So hopefully that will transpire. But I mean, the artwork is just incredible. I was actually very afraid in the beginning that this art exhibition would turn into more of an educational thing purely, where very nice pictures and whatever. But I'm very glad that some of this artwork is a little bit in your face, a little bit maybe even offensive, but that's really explains the magnitude of these horrible events that have happened in history, and actually are continuing to happen. So yeah, please do come. Again, it's Opening day is April 4th, and the closing date is May 8th, and it's open every single day, so you can go ahead during the library's hours and go visit. Yes.
When will the invitations go? Or did you say there's an invitation to the big events to the school board or?
We send the postcards for printing. Most probably by the end of next week, it'll go out.
She's talking about the invitations, the individual invitations. We don't have a certain date yet, but that will be taken care of pretty soon, I hope.
You mean letters?
Well, just so you, I mean, for instance, board members, if something goes to the district for the board to receive,
It takes a long time.
But we get delivery on Friday. I mean, I know about it, and I'll just make sure that everybody knows and has it on the calendar, because, if it weren't in the packet soon, then there are just a couple of Fridays left, and we don't want anybody. I don't know how things are transmitted in the city, but.
Well, we know that printing the postcard will take at least another 4 or 5 days. As soon as we have the postcards printed, then it will go out. We have only 3 more weeks until the opening, so I think we're just right there.
If I may ask, Commissioner Wagner, when does the board meet, and would you think that appropriate for us to come and make a presentation there? Or at least in oral communications to extend that, or somehow?
We met this last week, and we don't have another meeting until April 7th. So
Okay, we just missed the boat.
So we just for the opening, but I'll make sure that the dates are on on everybody's calendar.
But still, the show is going to be open until May 8th, so.
Well, it was nice to have everybody at the opening day, especially the elected officials and the dignitaries.
I would suggest that if you can do an attachment invitation and just
We'll discuss
email everybody, and they can get that out to any, whether it's the school district or the city, in advance of any.
We've been encouraging all the artists and the subcommittee members and the commissioners also to send the invitation letters or the press releases to their own mailing list. This way,
Yes.
make sure that we won't miss anybody.
We got the press release, right? So
We have got the press release ready.
so
Yes.
so I'll just okay.
Another one will go out most probably in 2
Okay.
Sure.
It's really only.
Out of all the politicals, I think you forgot our new state senator, Carol Liu.
Carol Liu.
No, actually, we haven't forgotten her. No,
Okay.
we just named some names. No, we just named some names, but there are a lot more that we have in mind than the names that I mentioned.
Okay. Because our new office is on Central.
Yeah, that's right. And also, again, as Ripsime said, we all have our own circle of friends and our own little email list. It will be nice. She will be sending us the press release and the postcard and the, whatever necessary. We can also blast them to our own friends.
And it would help if whoever has certain, because there are times that we might hit and miss something because in the excitement of the whole event. It's okay if you could email Rivsime just as a reminder, do you have so-and-so on your list? It doesn't matter. It's always helpful to get that. Having said that, I need to say one thing without the mention of name. Our sponsor is a person, when I looked at the picture in the middle, I'm not joking, the idea is that he was soaring high. He's a person who soars high. And just discussing about what the message of this event is, even before we started, because we didn't know exactly what we are going to put together. Just knowing that where the heart and soul of this commission is to put an event of such magnitude. He was in that elevated state of mind and soul, which he agreed upon, helping us with this. And Razmik doing the calculation, because he's a man of business, he said, more or less, I think we will need about 10,000. So, because I said, Razmik, how much would that be? Because I don't know that part. So, they are generous people who their soul soars high, and may God bless them always to sponsor such events.
Have you made a decision about recognizing him at the opening night?
Yes, on the program and welcome and introductions. We are still finalizing. I mean, as I said, we are still, doing the little details of all the events.
The subcommittee.
Yes, through the subcommittee we will decide it. Yes, definitely we will recognize, and of course his generous contribution. Without that, we could not be able to do this. So
So the subcommittee, I'm just asking, you know me, so this next question won't surprise you, but so the subcommittee was able to do all of this without ever bringing it back to the commission?
yes.
We authorized it.
Not only we were authorized, but the last commission meeting was almost a month ago. All of this has happened in the last month, and I believe from what I read, Ripsime reported last month.
Every month.
And
See what you
Commissioner
missed?
Wagner
I'm just asking.
authorized, and then we chose 2 people, and then 3 to represent the commission. So we not need to.
Every time the commission has had a meeting, there has been a report, whatever
Oh,
the
no, I
latest
understand. I just wanted
progress
to
was.
ask.
And Commissioner Stories, we all behaved, I promise you.
I don't know. We'll see. Come the
And we
fourth.
never went to Conrad's after the meeting.
That's the problem.
Okay. Next item, please.
Commission staff comments.
Comment.
I know
no.
Commissioner Wagner always has comments.
First of all, I want to thank the commission, the subcommittee also. It is really exciting how much you've accomplished and how big you dream and are making it happen. I think it's really exciting, and I will do whatever I can to help get the word to the folks at the school and to encourage, along with Commissioner DeHovanesi and our students.
Can you ask all
to
your
participate.
voters to come? Then we will have a huge crowd there, I suppose.
We can't take that many people there, can we?
I had a few, where did I put them? Little announcements. You probably got some of these things too. The I Love My Neighborhood poster contest, Glendale Clean and Beautiful. This is one of the things the school does to encourage artwork, and that's coming. The event is Wednesday, April 1st at the Civic Auditorium at 5 to 7 p.m. There was a mention earlier of Congressman Schiff's art contest, the Congressional Arts Competition, and that event is Sunday, April 26th from 3 to 5 p.m. at the Huntington Library. And then I wanted to comment on my clarifying meeting with Mayor Draymond after our last meeting. And first of all, it was a reminder that email is not always the best way to communicate because you lose a lot of nuance and also tone. But we met a few days later, and I was certainly able to clarify that I was not interested in thwarting the plan that has been set forth by the council to have people meet and talk to develop the next step, but rather had just sort of suggested what my current thinking about the end result is. But I'm very supportive of the effort that Mayor Draymond has been using, not just with regard to the next plan for the arts, but in other areas of the city as well, human relations and get the other plan he has afoot. But it's wonderful what conversation can do. So I look forward to whatever comes next when we get the note to participate in those meetings, and to see what comes of that. So I think that is. One more thing. I wanted to offer my congratulations to particularly those Diamond Award winners related to our schools, to Craig Kupka at Hoover, and who has won numerous. That jazz band rocks, and to the Stepping Stone Players, which is a collaborative involving the students, parents, community members. So I wanted to say that, and mention also, except I can't remember her name. We have one of our students who, Ani, a student at Clark, who traveled with us. I went to a meeting up in Sacramento on Monday related to ROP programs, the after-school work programs, but also she won the county poetry recitation contest and will be competing next Monday in Sacramento. She recited an Emily Dickinson poem at our meeting on Tuesday, but she's actually going to be, that will be the tiebreaker if she gets to it. She's doing 2 other poems as well. So I wanted to share that. So thank you.
Great. Thank you. Any other comments? Yes, Commissioner Solis?
I had a quick question and a little announcement. Did you or anyone in you or Richard have anything to do with the Cesar Chavez event this year?
No, we didn't.
No. I was saddened to see that they're having the Cesar Chavez event. And last year, Eve helped handle it. And we had a very successful event, in my opinion. A good amount of people, free food, and we didn't even hear about it this year. And so,
Because it was handled by the city manager.
Sure, I'm sure it was. But I think something like that would fall under our commission, as it did last year. So, I'm just sad to see that we didn't have an opportunity to even participate, on a committee or anything.
Our hands been tied with these 2 big projects, Diamond Awards and Men's in Humanity One.
Your hands have been, not ours. I mean, us as a subcommittee, as a representative of some sort is all I'm saying. But that's, it's not open for discussion right now. But I just wanted to say that, I was just sad to see that. On another note, the South Glendale Partnership, which is a newly formed entity in South Glendale to help empower residents, is having a big community day at the Pacific Community Center this coming Saturday, which will be from 1 to 5. There'll be free food, there'll be live music, there'll be a resource fair, and it'll be an opportunity for all the, for every resident that decides to go, but for South Glendale residents to meet the local city council candidates. So it's an opportunity for all of them to come down.
And others.
And other candidates. All Glendale municipal candidates are invited. So I hope to see you there, and I hope to see everyone there. Like I said, that'll be from 1 to 5. There'll be free food. That's located on Pacific between San Fernando and Brand. And Colorado. Those are the major streets.
I'll just say I let them know I will have to be a little late because I will be at a lunch with Congressman Schiff. I plan to come.
Great. Commissioner Gregorian?
It is interesting for me that every time Commissioner Solis speaks, there is some mention of food somewhere, especially if there is a free food.
An after party at Conrad's.
Yeah.
This is pre-commercializing for Conrad.
Having said that, I would like to thank the City of Glendale overall, the management's office, to provide this opportunity for us to do this annual commemoration event and the month of remembrance. And also for all the resources that they provided to the main committee and to the subcommittee. So I would like to mention names here. Without the help of this main staff of the City of Glendale, like Zizet Ayad, like George Chapchian, like Cindy Cleary, like Alisa Resnick, like Rich Wells, and like Ripsime Marashian, without the help of these individuals who work for the city, this committee would not be able to do whatever they are doing. Everybody did their job, their best. And again, since this is the main thing that I'm most excited, I am inviting the public and all the commissioners and all your circle of influence for this opening event at the April 4th. Thank you.
Other comments? Commissioner Lee?
Asian American Chamber Association is hosting the 4th annual Asian Friendship Golf Tournament on April 22nd at Industry Hills Golf Club. Hopefully, people can join. Right now, the Asian American Chamber Association comprised of 11 countries that have band together to try to promote friendship amongst comrades, per se. For anybody interested, please call the Thai Chamber of Commerce at area code 909-590-1579. At this time, I've been saddened today, and probably for the last few weeks. One of our esteemed Glendalians, Dick Murray Jr., passed away in late March. He's the only person I know that was actually in the Battle of the Bulge. So anybody who knows history knows that that was a very famous battle. Second is a former Glendalian, my friend Vincent, who just passed away this morning. So, a lively person in his 50s just had a heart attack. So, I've been deeply saddened. My thoughts go out to both their spouses, Sheila and Cheryl.
Other comments? Okay, I have several comments. First of all, thank you for mentioning, Commissioner Lee, that I knew the Murrays very well. They knew me since I was a kid. I think I was 12. I must have been 11 or 12 years old. Very dear and loving people, and it's a sad thing that Dick Murray is no longer with us. Again, condolences to Sheila, who I still see on a regular basis through our work for the Glendale Symphony, which is my next item. The Glendale Symphony is holding its spring extravaganza tomorrow night at 8 p.m. at the Oakmont Country Club. If you have any questions, please call them at 818-500-8720. That, and I'd also like to very quickly thank my teachers at Chapman for allowing me to to cut classes to attend these meetings, and my girlfriend for letting me be here. Yes. Again, just to recap, April 4th is the opening of our Man's and Humanity Against Man Journey Out of Darkness event, art exhibition on April 4th. Please be there. It's going to be just fantastic, and I think, unfortunately, this is our last opportunity to announce that on air. So, just one last time, and that's it. Anyone else?
Just one other thing. If there are teachers who are watching this program, you could let us know, and Ripsime can burn some of those CDs of the visual aspects. So later on, if you need to have lessons and handouts which you can use in the classrooms, we can arrange and provide for you. Just contact her in our. Can you give your number, Ripsime?
Yes, the number is 818-548-2780.
And then we'll try to accommodate you and provide a nice lesson that could be very comprehensive. Thank you.
Great. With that, next item, please.
Written communications, I have none.
Okay. Next item, adjournment. Let's all go home.
Let's go.
Gavel it up, dude.